Thank you, Jake. And thank you to Be United. I want to give a special shout out to Deborah and Molly for organizing such a fantastic event. Well done. So my name's Joe Hohenstein. I'm a state rep from Philly. And like many people from Philly, I'm just going to speak plainly. I'm an unapologetic advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Those are not dirty words. They are words that we need, and I appreciate the First Lady and Governor Shapiro for also making certain to continue the efforts that we are making in the state and in the Commonwealth for lifting up people and lifting ourselves up at the same time. And to me, that is the key to inclusion. But we are living in very uncertain times, and disability rights and some other human rights are under attack. Just yesterday, I was talking with a Villanova student, Callie Brendel, who is in the standard degree program here as an undergrad. She's low vision, and she's been fighting for her own accessibility. She was lobbying me about a case called Becerra versus Texas, which seeks to take away and declare unconstitutional Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act. Now, 504 forms the core and the basis of all of the different IEPs that people get in their education through high school and even into college. Be United is the product of individual IEPs for people who are getting the supports they need because of the things that they've been identified as requiring in order to have accessibility. So that case is up and being challenged, and First Lady, just be on notice. Callie intends to call the governor as well to ask what his position might be on that. But Becerra versus Texas is a case that's out there. It's under attack. There's a recent executive order that focuses on the Administration for Community Living. And if anyone knows about community independent living, that is, again, one of those key places where people who have disabilities are able not simply to access and to receive services, but to become active and participating members of the community. And the recent executive order is something that threatens those programs for those. And in that atmosphere, I do think we need to make sure that we recognize what the real way forward is. And to me, that is that we insist that all people be recognized as human beings, that all people have inalienable rights. Thomas Jefferson identified this for us close to 250 years ago. And all people means all people. Shouldn't matter whether you walk, roll, or you get carried through life. It shouldn't matter whether your brain works in ways that other people have to strain to understand. It shouldn't matter if your senses of sight or hearing are not as keen as those around you. I myself have gone most of my life with a moderate hearing loss. I have worn hearing aids ever since as a 6-year-old. I had to wear them on my chest. And those were difficult times for my mother because that hearing aid was broken early and often in my life. But that disability to me really, I joked with somebody about it, that it really just puts me on the JV team, maybe even just like the scout team in terms of what people who live with disabilities have to experience. So when folks are going and living those experiences, what we have to recognize is their experience is an element of the human experience, and they are fully human beings, and as such, they have things that they can teach us. So again, every person should have that opportunity. And that's exactly what you all are doing here at Be United. You're recognizing and focusing on employment opportunities that are driven by the students' desires, their skills, what they know that they are capable of. And the disability movement has a phrase, nothing about us without us. And the idea of having policies and other programs that reflect and are driven by the people that they are serving, make sure that the design of those programs are actually effective in what they do. And so that's one of the fantastic things about Be United here, that students are able to find out what their interests are, and they come and say, this is what I would like to do, and they're able to find that connection. So I want to also focus not just on employment in the world that is covered by Be United, folks with intellectual disabilities and on the autism spectrum, what folks call the IDA, right? I also want to get us into looking in the broader sense at the talent that exists when we provide opportunities to people with disabilities. And I'm going to give you a few examples of some very, very talented people in the disability community. Neil McDevitt is a friend of mine. He is the first deaf mayor of a U.S. city. He is the mayor of North Wales, not too far away from here. He is the executive director of the Deaf Hard of Hearing Communication Center, but he also focuses his work as mayor in another area of expertise for him, emergency management. And his skills and experience, both from personal lived experience, but also training in emergency management, gives him special insight that other folks might not have in how to reach and communicate with people who have disabilities in times when there is crisis and life-threatening events. Temple Grandin. Dr. Temple Grandin is an icon in the disability community. She's an animal behaviorist, and she developed techniques for the humane treatment of animals, both in their keeping and also in animal slaughter. And I was very honored to meet her. She came to the farm show in Pennsylvania just this past January. But you know what? I had to sit in line. There was a crowd around her because she's not just an icon for folks in the neurodivergent autistic community that she's a part of. She's an icon for so many folks in the agricultural world as well. And I've got a list of about 3 or 4 other people, but I don't think I have time to talk about all of that, dude. I'll throw out some names and be happy to talk about some of these other examples. Dr. Josie Badger, she runs an organization that is focused on a policy called Employment First. Sean Alliong is a Temple graduate who is a member of the President's Commission Advisory Council on People with Disabilities. Dr. Theodore Brady is a member of the National Council on Independent Living. All of them have different disabilities that have informed the work that they do in the real world and that contribute to our societal good. So inclusion as a way of life recognizing those gifts and talents of everybody around us. Again, Be United has done a fantastic job of doing that. But we also have to recognize that when we utilize the talent of the disability community, we're also helping industry. They get ideas and innovation. They get workforce development. And those things give companies a competitive advantage. Dr. Paulus, you pointed that out very well, and I appreciate you doing that. We have to recognize that this is not a policy that is based on charity. It is a policy that is based on opportunity. And when we create things like Be United in this space, in an educational environment, or if the government is able to focus on employment first for people with disabilities, or something called the Tech Accelerator. It's a program that's been set up amongst a number of different state agencies, of which OVR is a participant as well, talking about how technology should be one of the first things we look at in terms of making sure that changes in accessibility are, again, as universal as they can be. They get to concepts like universal design for businesses and for buildings. So again, begin to see how if we focus and make that concept of inclusion, that concept of recognizing the humanity in another person, one of the first things that we do, if not the first thing that we do in our encounters with them, what else grows out of that? And that it is not simply something where we're giving a handout or even just a hand up to someone who normally doesn't get that opportunity. What we're doing is making our life and our society better. And again, I just want to say thank you to Bill for having me here today. I wish you the best, and I thank all of the employers who are there ready to be part of this program. I want to thank, again, the First Lady and the Governor and all of our state agencies who support these programs as well. And I am looking forward to seeing what the future of Be United and programs like it around the state can be, not just for the future of its students, but for the future of us all. Thank you.